The next artist, Atlantic Records' debut album, Now in a Minute, features last year's #1 song, I Love You Always Forever. Here she is, Donna Lewis.
Feel like I'm standing in a timeless dream of light mists, of pale amors. Feel like I'm lost in the tea cloud of heavenly scent, and touching, discovering you. And you can sing along to this one if you like. Those days of warm rains come rushing back to me. Miles of windless, a silent secret moments shared in the heat of the afternoon. Out of the stillness, soft-spoken words say, I love you always, forever, near and far, closer together everywhere. I will be with you, everything I will do for you. I love you always, forever, near and far, closer together everywhere. I will be with you, everything I will do for you. You've got the most unbelievable blue eyes I've ever seen. You've got me almost melted away. As we lay there under blue sky with pure white stars, exotic sweetness, a magical time. You can sing with me, say, I love you always, forever, near and far, closer together everywhere. I will be with you, everything I will do for you. I love you always, forever, near and far, closer together everywhere. I will be with you, everything I will do for you. Say you love me forever, never stop, never, whatever, near and far, and always and everywhere and every. Say you love me forever, never stop, never, whatever, near and far, and always and everywhere and every. Say you love me forever, never stop, never, whatever, near and far, and always and everywhere and every. Say you love me forever, never stop, never, whatever, near and far, and always and everywhere and everything. Yeah. Oh yeah, oh yeah, I love you always, forever, near and far, closer together everywhere. I will be with you, everything I will do for you. I love you always, forever, near and far, closer together everywhere. I'll be with you. I love you always and forever, babe. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, Donna Lewis.
Thank you.
How you doing?
Fine, thank you.
Thanks for coming. We appreciate it.
Pleasure.
So we'll do a little something again in just a minute with it. How many instruments do you play?
Oh, just a couple. I mean, it's mainly the piano and keyboards, but play the flute, a little bit of guitar, but mainly it's piano and flute.
Do you ever teach?
Yes.
What'd you
I
teach?
qualified as a music teacher, and I went into the classroom and taught them, you know, everything I knew about music, which wasn't a great deal at that time. and I taught a lot of private flute pupils as well.
You taught flute lessons.
Flute, yes.
How long did you play the flute?
How long did I play?
I'm not going anywhere with this now, please.
Come on, people.
I tell you.
Get out.
Not today.
have here.
Monday
Right.
we'll do it. Today?
I still play now. I haven't stopped playing. It's just that I'm not...
I'm going nowhere with it. Come on. I'm asking questions.
It's a beautiful instrument. And, you know,
As far as you know.
no, I mean...
It can be, yes.
No, it is.
Oh, now
I
you're
played it.
chiming in.
Yeah.
You play the
I play
flute too, right?
Yeah.
If handled properly, it's a great instrument.
All right. You know, I don't play the flute.
All right. Good. Good, I'm glad.
Not since he got caught.
My dad here?
By the way, his dad won the war, you know.
Yes.
Single-handedly.
Just
We'll take
one
it.
of them, though.
That's right.
Next question.
All right, are you ready?
Yeah, really. Let's
Are you
get
ready?
at it.
So you taught music. Now, you played in clubs for like hours on end, didn't you, at night when you used to...
I did. I mean, I used to go to the European piano bars and sit there at the piano and play for 5 hours a night, 6 nights a week for a few months.
What are you playing for 5 hours? I mean,
All
you gotta-
sorts of things.
you got to have a huge... I mean, obviously you have to...
A
have
huge repertoire.
Yeah.
I have a huge repertoire, yeah. And I just...
She's having it
this
treated, though.
conversation...
Yes. With medicine and
Anyway,
shrinking.
I used to... I used to like to pick songs that I love to do, and I try to pick obscure songs, you know, songs by Prince and Ricky Lee Jones, you know, things that I didn't like to do the My Way and Feelings kind of songs.
yeah.
Not that there's anything wrong with that, of
Sure.
course, you know, they're wonderful songs, but you know, I didn't fancy playing them at that
Yeah, I
time.
don't blame you.
Yeah.
So was it like a piano bar? You sat
Piano
there,
bar
you had your
and
tip jar and all that
Had
kind
my
of
tip jar on the piano, and then these drunken Swedes would come along. I hope there's no Swedish people in
I
here
think we
tonight.
could take them if there are.
And they used to... and they used to sit around the piano, and I used to sing and play to them.
Really?
And sometimes they enjoyed it, and sometimes they didn't. No, most of the time they did.
So you wrote music all day, and then
Oh
you'd
no,
sit
I
there
used to take some time off during the day. I used to go sailing, and you know.
Really?
But when I finished the piano bars and came home to England, that's when I used to sit and write my music and record it all day. Yeah.
And so then you get to a point where you're ready to go out and get a record deal. So you have to start shopping your demo tape around. How did that go?
Well, that was a little bit of a struggle back in England, because I was doing that for years and years, and I'd get, you know, close, some record companies would phone me up and say, oh yeah, we're really interested, can we hear some more songs? And nothing happened. And then I came to America on holiday and put it, you know, set my demos to a few places, and they really liked my music. So finally, at long last, I went to Woodstock to visit some friends. It's a very long story, but anyway, a musician...
We're not going anywhere.
Okay, can we... You know, shall I finish it?
Sure,
shall
go
I?
ahead.
Okay. And I met a guy called Robbie Dupree, who had the hit Steal Away many, many years ago. But yeah, he's a lovely, lovely guy, and he really wanted to help me, you know, try and get a deal over here. He felt my music would be really good. And so the tape got in the hands of another musician who passed it on to Atlantic.
And they hooked you up.
And they hooked me up. They finally tracked me down, and that was it.
And the thing about that, too, is what's amazing is this song, I Love You Always Forever, was the _1 song in the history of music charts in terms of total plays. It beat out Mariah Carey, Celine Dion, everybody.
I know. Unbelievable.
And there was there was a different name for that song originally, wasn't
I
there?
called it Lydia because the book that I was reading at the time of writing that song, and I was very inspired by it, was called For the Love of Lydia. And so I couldn't think of a title for the song, and that stuck. And then, of course, just before release, they were saying, how do you fancy changing the title? Because Lydia doesn't appear anywhere in the song, and it might get a bit confusing for people. So, okay, if you can, I said to Andrea, if you can promise me that song's going to be a hit, I'll change it for you. So,
It turned out.
fortunately, it worked out well.